What's up, guys? Welcome back to Healthy Recipe. We're going to be making that grass-fed beef wrap today. We got some really good quality meat a couple of days ago, and it's all grass-fed and pasture raised. So we're trying to do a couple of different really good recipes for you guys. This one's going to be really simple and delicious, so let's get right to it. Okay, so this is what we're using today to make this wrap. It's really simple. I have one jalapeno diced for heat. Optional as always. If you guys don't like hot stuff, you don't have to add this, or you could add a hotter pepper if you prefer. I have about 2 tablespoons of finely minced cilantro, 1 lime wedge, about a half a cup of sliced white onions, about a half of a red tomato, about a half of a tomato diced. Have 1 flour tortilla. A lot of times I'll make my own on these. I just didn't really have the time today, and these were sitting in my fridge, so I figured I would use them up. You don't always have to, have the most perfect ingredients, but try to do the best you can. Balance is always the key. I have a sirloin steak from Straw's Beef. This is the meat that I just ordered a couple of days ago, a box of. All this stuff is grass-fed and grass-finished, so they don't feed corn at the end like some companies do, and it's all free range. So far I've tried their ribeye steak, and it was one of the best tasting steaks I've ever had in my life. I mean, the flavor was amazing, super tender. I mean, it was just like butter. So I'm going to be using this sirloin for the beef here. Sirloin is a little bit leaner, well, quite a bit leaner than ribeye, and is usually not quite as tender, but it's still a very tender cut of beef, still prime. I also have here some button mushrooms sliced, some garlic salt. I have about a cup of shredded lettuce. This is romaine. I'm using some of my fermented hot sauce. If you guys wanted a recipe for this or my other hot sauce, I will put the links on the iCard above so you guys can make it. If not, then you can use your favorite hot sauce. I'm using Worcestershire sauce also, and feta cheese. And that's basically everything. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and take our steak out and marinate it for a few minutes before we throw it on a pan. We're actually gonna pan fry it. Okay, so here we have our sirloin. It's actually a bigger piece of meat than I looked in that container. It's nice and soft. The meat feels really, really tender. You can tell this is gonna be a really tender sirloin. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit of that lime juice just for some acidity. Some Worcestershire sauce, about a tablespoon or 2. About a half a teaspoon of garlic salt. I throw just a little bit of sprinkle of cilantro in there. And we just didn't let that marinate for about 15 minutes or so because of the acidity of the lime, and also the Worcestershire sauce has some vinegar in there. It's gonna get into the meat pretty fast. So you can see it's already changing color. Now we're gonna get our pan on high heat, and I'm just gonna drop about a half a tablespoon or so of coconut oil. And let that heat up, and then put our steak in. Okay, so now that our oil is pretty hot, we're gonna go ahead and drop in our sirloin. This is gonna cook fairly quickly. This is really good for this recipe because it's not a super thick chunk of meat, so it's gonna cook really well and be ready for slicing in no time. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add our onion and the mushrooms. Okay, so the steak is basically where I want it to be right now. I'm going to just go ahead and take it off, set it aside, and then on the same pan we're going to heat up our tortilla. So we're going to go ahead and get our tortilla on here to soften up. And this is very important, guys, when you're doing burritos. Make sure that you heat your tortilla so it won't break when you try to bend it. And I just want to give it a few seconds on each side just so the tortilla gets soft. Also, it's going to absorb some of that nice flavor that's on the bottom of the pan from the onions, mushrooms, beef, and seasoning. I'm gonna kind of see right now. It's where we want it. Perfect. See how it's a little browned, nice. Now we can fold it nicely. Bring it over. Okay, so first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and cut our beautiful steak. Just gonna slice it across the grain. I'm just going to slice it into really small pieces. This is going to be a pretty heavy burrito. Could probably make two out of this 6-ounce piece if you want to go lighter on the meat. First thing we're going to put is our beef. We're going to go with our onions and mushrooms. We're going to do our lettuce. A bit of more cilantro. Fresh jalapenos for heat. Tomato. And we're going to do some of our feta cheese. Going to add some nice umami flavor and some saltiness in there. And final touch, we're going to hit it with our hot sauce. Alright, so to fold this, it's a pretty heavy one. We're going to go on the sides like this, tuck the both sides in, right? Make sure you got everything inside. Then we're going to reach over, just like that. We're going to pull the sides in, make sure everything's tucked, make sure all the ingredients are in. And we're going to fold all the way in, just like that. See, we got a nice burrito pocket, right? Everything's tucked in, everything's good. So all the ingredients are tucked in inside. Now, we're just gonna cut it down the middle. At an angle, just like that. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is, all that beef and veggies and sauce. This is gonna be totally delicious. Okay, so what I'm actually gonna do is throw a little bit of cilantro just to kind of garnish it, make it look pretty. A little tomato on the corner to give it a little red color and a little bit of jalapeno. So that's pretty much it. That's my grass-fed beef wrap with fresh vegetables and my own homemade hot sauce. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give us a thumbs up if you liked it. Remember to share with your friends and family so we can continue growing the channel. and I'll see you guys really soon on the next one. Okay, so it's my favorite part of the video, the moment where I get to try my recipe for you guys and let you know what I think of the flavor. This right here is amazing. This beef is incredibly tender, super flavorful. For a sirloin, is unbelievably tender. It has so much flavor. It tastes a million times better than conventional beef. It has that nice grass-fed flavor, but for some reason Straw's meats, I don't know if it's the grass that they're feeding their cattle, but it has better flavor than most grass-fed beef that I ever had. It's really, really delicious and flavorful. The heat is in there from my hot sauce, a little bit of saltiness from the feta. The jalapenos are nice and crunchy. The lettuce, I mean, it's totally delicious. I can taste the caramelized sweetness of the onions. This is amazing. You guys got to give this a try next time you get some beef.